G'day, I'm Clive and welcome. I've been messing around with the Helikon Tex Packcells with a couple of my tents, my sleep mat, which is the winter, the R6 from, where are we? Alton Goods, Australian company, which is a nice thick one by 25 inches wide, regular in length. Finding ways of making him fit better in my pack, and I've got the Helikon Tex Summit backpack here, which is probably my favourite one. It's only 40 litres, a pouch on either side of it for my camera gear and different bits of bobs, my first aid kit. So over time I found like this is one person version of the nature hike. Yeah, the Cloud Peak one this is, and that's the size difference between the one, let's see if I can do this, and the two. And I found a way of breaking down the Cloud Peak 2 to fit better and easier in my pack. And one of the difficulties with your pack and loading it with a tent, and then you got your water in there, you got your cook kit in there, you got your clothes in there, you got your sleeping bag in there, is getting the weight distributed properly and balanced. Because if any of you know that when you're walking and you've got something heavier on one side, you're going to be pulled over and it's just going to be that little bit uncomfortable. And after 20-30 kilometers, that's going to emphasize on that being so uncomfortable. But you put a normal tent in, not much you can do. The poles in there, pegs, ground sheets in that one, that's stuck there. For balance it, that goes down the middle, which isn't the best because you don't really want the weight that far down. You want the weight a little bit further up so it sits between your shoulders. And so you could put your sleeping bag underneath that, or you change your clothes. So what I've done is I've separated, get rid of this one, the tent, taking that out, and in here is the poles and the pegs, the guy lines and everything else. And I put in the what class as a medium size Packcell from Helikon Tex, and the measurements for a medium is in centimetres 32 centimetres by 17 centimetres by 13.5 centimetres when it's fully packed, and that is there. Now I've got this cinched up, so let's just show you by loosening it. I've still got room in that pack, or in that Packcell, for more. But what's actually in there is 1, the ground sheet, your footprint, 2, the main tent, and 3, the fly, all go in there. And with it being that way without the pole, that can be manipulated in your pack to take up space it normally wouldn't if it was packed like that. Now it may look wider, but depth wise it's very similar that way. Actually it's actually thinner in my hands in the Packcell. But what that means is, let's move that out of the way. That's my sleeping bag in the large one, and the large one is 35 centimetres by 21 centimetres by 17 centimetres when it's fully packed out. So that can go down at the bottom, which is going to be giving me something for the tent to sit on, and that will sit on that, which has brought that tent up a little bit higher on my back, so that means it's distributed the weight closer to between my shoulders. And because it's not as wide, that can go over there a little bit. I've taken my sleep mat, as you know when they're rolled up, they're this sort of thing by that. Very similar, but I've folded it. So now that sits down there beside it. Now that is going to be slightly heavier from this. So when it goes in the pack, the pegs and the poles will go down that side. And this is going to be next to my back here. So the weight is going to be right next to my body, not at the, I don't know, what you call it, the front or the back of the backpack, which is, I call the back. The front I call is where the straps are, so that's facing forward. So that now has brought all the weight and all the size to fit easy together in that small area, let's say. So now that, remember I said it's a 40 litre pack. So I'll put that in first, down the side, which is the opposite side to where the sleep mat's going to go, because that's the heavier of, these are about the same weight, but that'll balance the weight so it's even both sides, because this has got a little bit of weight over that side. Sleeping bag. Now these can be cinched up more. Let's just tidy it up a little bit so it's not so flappy. Got cinches on there, handles on it. So once it's in the pack, if it's down in the pack, you can just put your hand down, grab the handle and pull it out. A lot easier than having it in one of the actual sleeping bags, stuff sacks, compression sacks. So now I'm going to put that way. Now that's it. The actual compression straps are on the bottom here. Just filled into the bottom. And the sleeping bag is there without any weight on it. So we can see that'll squash that way, or squash that way. So when I put the actual tent on top of it, that'll mould down into the sleeping bag, which is going to allow the space at the top. Oh, allow for the tent, sorry. So let's do the same there. The tent's got the cinch buckles on. So give them a little bit of a pull just to tidy it up. Got the handles on both sides. We'll put that in. Push it over to the side where the poles are. And again, there's my winter sleep mat, the R6 one. So I'll put that now with them straps on the inside, and again that's got a handle there and a handle there for when I need to pull it out. So remember, this is a 40 litre pack. I'll keep my mind in. So when that's rolled up, have the 1, 2, 3 rolls, get the waterproof, and then buckle it. I have still got, before pushing any of that down and compressing it, over half the pack left. And that half a pack, I could put my clothes in there, I can fit my food in there, I can fit my cook kit in there, and I'm still left with the beaver pocket, people call it. Side pockets are still, and I've still got the hip belt pockets I can use, and these are my extra attachments pockets, and my EPIRB goes in there, my compass goes in there, and like I said, I've got my camera gear and my first aid kit in these ones. Like I said, 40 litre pack. I've got the Snug Pack Special Forces sleeping bag in there with the Nature Hike Cloud Peak. Is it Cloud Peak? No, Cloud Up. That's it. Cloud Up 2. Sitting there. Sleep mat on that side. Poles coming down this point here, next to where my body will be, behind this one. And the balance. I do say so myself, smack on. So that's worked out nice. Let's put that there. Now another thing I do now is I only carry 2 litres on the inside of my pack. And these are weights right up against my back again. And we're in spring now and the weather's getting warmer here in Australia. So, just so they don't stick out as far, 2 1 litre canisters, containers, water ones. I think these are they're called the cadet ones. The same as the old army style kidney shaped tin they go into. And 1 on either side. Which again will balance the weight so it's even weight, so the pack's going to be sitting nice. And if I have it pushed all the way up to this point here, as far as possible, again that's moving the weight from the back to the front, which is going to make it easier to carry. Now I'm not going to put that in, that's going to be a palaver, but it does fit in. You can see how flat it sits on the table there. What's that? Inch and a half to 2 inches the most away from the back. And as I drink that, it will get flatter and flatter. Food. Now, we could push that down even more and push the food in the front. But I don't want to push things too much in there. I want to just get it in there nice and comfortable. So I'm just going to sit that. Let's see, yep, the gap will be at the bottom. So I'll sit it that way. And then that's going to be flat in here. Don't know if you can see on the camera. Let's try and get this out of the way more. But that's sitting nice and flat. We've got a little bit of space on either side. So what can fit in there is one of my cook kits. So where's the one I use the most? Over there. Now this one's got a 750ml pot and a cup, and the stove and everything in there, and just put it in there. And that sits nice on the side there, and it's got the gas canister in there also, and I've got a small spoon, so the whole lot fits in there nice and comfortable. So realistically, apart from putting a change of clothes in there, not much more has to go inside. My rain jacket or my poncho can actually sit in here if I need be. But if I wanted to, even though there's so much space in there still, oh wait, that's there. And that's the top of the pack there. Let's give it a roll tighter. Let's go this way this time. 1, 2, 3. Lock in, and there you go. Still got all of this space. Look at that. So that's from there, from the top of the pot to there, and then from that side to here, it's there up to there. So that's a 40 litre pack, not even full. And that'll take me down to comfortable, down to about 7 degrees Celsius or centigrade, whatever you want to call it. And I could actually fit, if I wanted to go even colder with the same setup, a sleeping bag liner in there. Now I've got another set of Packcells. Let's see if it'll fit in the smallest one, because this is the one from Sea to Summit, and it gives you, they used to give you a temperature rating on these, but they don't now. But when this came out, it says up to an extra 15 degrees in your sleeping bag. And I have used it, and it does make a difference to the temperature and comfort of a sleeping bag. And that's gone into that small Packcell nice and easy. So now, what's that? Just by popping it in there. I've got space over this side here. I'll tuck it down the side. Yep, because that's squashed down the side, it hasn't taken up much more space, and as you can see, that zip still works, so it's not pulling it out and it's not fully expanded. So now that can take me down to below 0. That setup there can, in less than a 40 litre pack. Easy. It's always worthwhile playing with your kits. It's always worthwhile trying new ways of loading the pack up, finding new ways of doing it. Like I've done, swapping the main tent out of the actual bag itself and putting it in another one, a different shape, which allows it to go flatter and sit in the pack more to save you space and spread the weight evenly. Stuff like this, if you've got somewhere small pouches on the outside. Look at this one here, let's have a look on this side. Is my first aid kit, my snake bite kit is all in that one. This side, what did I put in here? My actual poncho, is it? Yep, my actual poncho is in the other one. This is like I said, this is the Helikon Tex Summit backpack. They're the general pouches, general side pouch I think they're called. I'll have a look and put it along here somewhere. Yeah, like I was saying, get your pack, have a play with it, see what you can do, and grab the jacket. This is a lot thicker than what I'd normally take. So this would basically be bigger than a change of clothes, and my wash kit, the general hygiene kit, which, where is that? Oh, it's over there, general hygiene kit. I'll just shove that in there. Cold weather I normally take a down jacket, but still that's done up, and we've still got, compress it down, got more space in there. Like I said, that jacket will take up the space of probably 4 or 5 of my down jackets. So let's do that up. Do that up. See if it's still balanced. Again, I won't do any of the straps up, just feel it, and it's sitting nice and level and balance on the back. So it's worth practicing, worth trying new things, new ways to get a nice balanced pack. But then Packcells, they're great, they are. Let's show you, like I said, I've got 2 sets of them. 1, 2, 3. I've done with a small one. Oh, there's a small one as well I've got somewhere. So you've got the 3 different sizes. Small is 23 by 12 by 9, medium 32 by 17 by 13.5, the large is 35 by 21 by 17, and the enlarged, which is that one, is 41 by 27 by 23 centimeters. That's it, the small one. I put my thermal liner in, didn't I? So yeah, I wonder where the small one is for this Packcell set. Oh. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and it's just giving you some ideas of what you can do to balance your pack out, spread the weight, pack it easier into smaller space, because when they're all scrunched up in the compression sacks, that's the an underquilt, but it's very similar. They're just tight, they are, and they're round, and it doesn't matter how small you're scrunching down, you're always going to end up with gaps and spaces between them. Oh, excuse me. You're always going to end up with gaps and spaces underneath them, between them, beside them, in the corners of your pack. So swapping them to Packcells here, where they're not scrunched really tight, but you can actually still mould them, it saves you a lot of space in your pack. So like I said, I hope you've enjoyed the video, and if you have and you're not a subscriber, go down below, click on the like button, click on the subscribe button, then select all next to it so you'll be notified of all future videos. And if you are already a subscriber, again, I thank you very much.